Hey everybody, good afternoon. I am Bonnie Barclay. It's always this, they've got this new system for Facebook Live, so I'm trying to see if I'm actually live. So sorry for the delay there. I am Bonnie Barclay. I'm a PSW and therapist in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm also the owner of Creekside Counseling and Wellness. And today is the day for my Trauma Talk in 10. And what I want to focus today is on understanding co-regulation. And I'm a little bit of a brain geek, so I love to talk about this particular topic. So I want to just introduce this idea and kind of walk you into the felt sense of it first. Have you ever been with someone and felt a shift in the mood? I felt this way every time I had a sick child, a concern about my child, and met with or called our pediatrician. Her presence always reassured me that she would be there to partner with me to address any concerns I had in raising my kids. It was so comforting. Just when she walked in the room, it was this felt sense of, I've got you. I'm here for you. You can count on me. So I had a client last week come in and she described her own felt sense of being in a new women's group. She said, I felt safe and then noticed how her pattern of getting into comparison did not come up when she was in this group of women. Co-regulation is the way that the nervous system of one individual influences the nervous system of another. This process is an interpersonal process as well as a neurological and biological process. So let's think about it. When you yawn, I yawn too. If you laugh, I feel happy. When you cry, I'm moved. If I'm calm, you're soothed. You aren't generating my feelings, nor are you responsible for them. I'm responsible for understanding, sharing, and tending to my emotions. But we are affecting one another in an important, real, and unconscious way. The co-regulating effect can happen in any type of relationship, but particularly it's strong in familial and romantic relationships. So parent to child, sibling, husband, wife, partners, those kind of relationships. As humans, we are wired for connection and aren't meant to live in isolation. Relationship is everything. And understanding co-regulation is important because we can become aware of the interplay between our nervous systems. We can alter the dynamics to have healthier, happier, and more fulfilling relationships. Strong partnerships with significant others can be healing for our attachment wounds and trauma. Of course, the opposite is also true. So co-regulation is not about swooping in and saving or fixing another or telling them to essentially not feel that way, but holds them in calm, listens to their needs, and together you can journey them back to a place of control, maybe even more pleasurable or enjoyable emotions. So co-regulation comes before self-regulation. So let me kind of unpack that a little bit. Co-regulation begins in the womb, long before we have the ability to regulate. It happens when an unborn baby hears the voice of their mother or when their mother's movement soothes them. This is what is happening when parents rock their infant, hold them, speak to them, babble with them, smile at them. And I think I talked in one of my previous videos about that still face experience and how upsetting it is when that exchange was not going on between the mother and child anymore, and how distressing that became. This is what I'm talking about. Babies soon learn that they can smile and talk back. It's communication and it's co-regulation. Co-regulation also is at play when a small child falls and they look up to parents to know how to react. They feel the pain and they're trying to figure out what to do. If the parent comforts without panic, children usually move on more quickly. If through this process that children learn to self-regulate, self-soothe, and to cope. This is one reason why when parents are not adequately and consistently responsive to children, they can struggle to learn to self-regulate, which can be a lifelong difficulty affecting both self and others. By gaining understanding, insight, and new skills, you can learn to change these patterns. So now let's move into co-regulation in relationships. In relationships, as I said earlier, we can optimize each other at our best or not so much. With childhood trauma, the hardest part of the abuse or neglect is suffering alone. So when conflict arises in present relationships, fears can immediately come up, triggering nervous system reactivity. If a partner is with a trauma survivor and can recognize this in that moment of need and stay in a regulated or calm place, it can make all of the difference. So the good news is that we can learn to choose. Couples are co-regulating much of the time, although they may not be aware of it. When I leave work and I talk to my husband about my day and he shows up and is present, that is co-regulation. Co-regulation can create tremendous safety, but in troubled relationships, it can also create a sense of danger. And so let's use the same example. If I call and my spouse isn't present, it can trigger that sense of alone and suffering and can really create that nervous system sense of danger. Our internal systems are sending out messages to our partners. We can invite calm or we can invite fight, flight, or freeze. Although this process is largely unconscious, we can create awareness, bringing it into our conscious awareness, and use the power of both self-regulation and co-regulation to change our relationship cycles, that relational dance of pursue and distancing. Being aware of the unconscious ways that our nervous system impact those that we love can provide motivation to build skills to regulate our emotions effectively and therefore heal our relationships. So what now? So I invite you to notice the ways in which you and your partner are co-regulating, be it positive or negative. Notice how others in your life are affecting your emotional regulation, and notice how you might be affecting them. This can include friends, neighbors, parents, children, extended family, co-workers, all the others that you're in relationship with. The closer the relationship, the stronger the influence. Learn and practice strategies for self-soothing. That could be relaxation, meditation, yoga, a warm bath, being in nature, exercise, social connectedness, rest, or whatever is calming. Because one person soothing themselves will also have a similar effect on the other. Create positive community for yourself. Being alone or loneliness is dysregulating for most, but especially so for trauma survivors. Relationships are important. That saying of we are harmed in relationships and we also heal in relationships. Focus on yourself rather than changing others. This really is the key to changing relationship dynamics. Changing others is never a valid goal. Making changes to your own ways of behaving, experiencing, and relating to others is a big enough job, and the only one you can really control and change, as much as we'd like to believe otherwise. So, what is the best way to start with you with self-regulation? Tune into your body and your emotions. This requires emotional awareness, being able to name it, to tame it. Just naming it can bring our thinking brain back online to begin calming our system. When our nervous system may be under threat and moving away from the in control regulated state, notice the body sensations that you have. This might be a clenched jaw, a strained voice, tired or wide eyes, racing thoughts, heavy breathing, scowling, or tight muscles. In these moments, tune into your body and remind yourself that you are safe right now, grounding to the current situation or environment, and recognizing the past may be present and trying to run the show. My clients often try out different strategies to see what works best for them. For example, soothing is for some, but maybe for others it's better to be more active and physically engaged to release or discharge negative energy. This might look like exercising, walking in nature, a walking meditation, petting a loved pet. Progressive muscle relaxation is another kind of active but also calming influence where you force a relaxation response. But usually this is most effective if you're able to do it 4 or 5 times a day. It is important to know what different emotions look like, sound like, and what they make you feel like doing. Identify them and again, build your awareness of how they feel and look in your body. Then you can learn what your loved one may need and what you need in those moments of dysregulation. That emotional awareness, that emotion vocabulary is critical. In Gottman terms, this is at the core of being able to manage conflict. Recognizing when your partners are flooded, needing to soothe or be soothed, shifting out of conflict to repair, soothe, and stay out of the 4 horsemen. Co-regulation is being able to answer the attachment questions. Are you going to be there for me? Can I count on you? With a yes from a nervous system standpoint. That is so, so powerful. Again, we can be harmed in relationship and we can be healed in relationship. So the hard truth for today is that we cannot control what happens, but we can control how we respond, both in regard to our own emotional needs and the ones we love when we're in that place of calm and co-regulation. If you need additional support, help is available, whether individually or as a couple. Please reach out and let me know if I can assist you with that process. Thanks so much for tuning in for my Trauma Talk in 10, although today it was probably 13, and I will see you again soon. Bye.